So, now, welcome back to What If Deku was slash has Flash's powers and became a god of everything. So basically, where we left off, the Class 1B and Class 1A agreed to not allow Zuko to reach his limit because Zuko told them that if he reaches that limit, he might end up going to a different multiverse Earth. As so he explains what the multiverse that he went to, as he says it was just so weird. And so he says that I went to this multiverse called, I'll say it, my gender bent academia world. He said that, and so they were like, okay, what does that world have? As they said, it's similar to our world, but every all of us change genders. Like basically, Dark Shadow became a female, Jiro became a male, and all that other stuff. I was like, I saw my female self, and I was like, okay, good. As he told them that what that world had, and they were all shocked. Like they're like, what that guy is doing. So, and then one up there says, or actually, Blood Hero asked Zuko what was also in there. As he says, well, during the Pro Heroes that I saw, it was pretty weird. Like I saw MT Lady became, or was in, or in that world was MT Man, and like basically, and like he explains to them what each one of them looked like. As they're like, that's creepy. How does that even. As he. So his girlfriend says, never mind about that. As long as I had my boyfriend in his world, I'm always happy about that. As she does the same thing. She actually kisses him. Um, Only they remember what that kiss they kissed before. When they were kids, like 3 years old, or 2 years old, they kissed before, but they ended up getting embarrassed by it. As so, they're like, okay. So, as he says, I hope that I don't get teleported into a world where all of us were zombies things. As they were like, yep, hopefully you don't get teleported to there. As still could outbeat them or outrun them. So then all of them saw he's or actually one day they got attacked by a giant turtle. Basically looks like Charybdis, but with a city on its back, with cannons that could easily destroy UA. So it was, they couldn't just swim over there and do it. So Zuko says, just let me do it. As he's seen Momo do it, as he like pulled his own like cannon that could destroy that creature, or he made two of them. As he used Jiro's signature ability, as he had his own earphone things like Quart, or because he. So ready, aimed, let there be rock. As boom, it when it goes off, it sends a shockwave through everybody all the way into a limousine, or basically into buildings, except for Zuko. Because Zuko uses his body basically to hold himself down. As it destroys a creature, or that turtle, completely, and it went down. As he was pretty powerful, or they were so powerful, as they seen how powerful his moves are. They're like, okay, that's his why. As so, MT Lady, I don't have her picture on here, so don't worry. I'll just use her. So, MT Lady says, I'll make a bet that you aren't taller than me because you already know me. So, she transforms into her transformation self. But alright, kid, ready? Do it. As he did it, and he made, or when he grew too tall, so that the humans that don't have the giant quirk thing are little tiny ants, hence, and when MT Lady was when she's in her transformation form, she was basically the size of his toenail. That's sad, isn't it? As he says, huh, I win, you lose. As All Might ain't actually finally chose, because he did a proper training, as he gave his quirk to Zuko, as Zuko became the, like, literally entity, living, breathing entity of Gun. Basically, he went from being a toddler with a friend that's a girl, no, to being a most powerfulest person in the entire world. And or he could his power level like passes every overpowered character in the world. Basically, his power level went over in like everything. Like his because of that major boost. So he became that, and so she actually still loves him no matter what. So she literally, her mother walked up to her and told her to go ask him out on a date and get married. Okay? Or go. As she finally has the nerve because to go and ask him out to go on a date. And so she and him went on a date and ends up he looks or when during that wedding thing or he looks like him and she was in a like a wedding dress and all that stuff. So man, I go really fast on these what ifs. I just realized that. Maybe I'm a Flash. I'm not those people that have the coats over there like hang they aren't wearing any clothes but they only wear like a coat and flashes at people. I'm not that. I'm talking about like DC. He like where Flash is. And Reverse Flash. So basically Zuko became the number one hero of like okay. He became the number one hero or actually he passes All Might, Endeavor, and all the pro heroes to becoming the number one hero. Heck, he starts his own agency so that the agency mostly focuses on like solve world problems and fight crime at the same time. Basically, after they got married, they had a kid. And I really don't know what their kids would be called, but this is what they or he would look or it would be what she looks like. basically her their kid has the same powers as that. She didn't have just two, or she didn't have just one kid. She had two kids. One was a girl, one was a boy. And she also had or actually, she had like three girls, one boy. So basically, her and him and her. So basically, that's or I was gonna put the other ones like her and or putting both of them, but I realized that it has like already. So now they became a like part of the family. So they were like, all right, as so the kids were wanted to become pro heroes. Like each one of them had their unique ones. Because Zuko had everyone's quirk, so they basically had each one had their own spectrum of urgent. So their youngest daughter, her, has telekinesis and could breathe out fire. But their son is basically like One Punch Man. One Punch Man. Or One Punch Man. So he basically he has this black orb thing. Like he basically has one punch, but he also has 13's like black hole thing through his chest. Basically, do you see that black thing that's surrounding his chest? Yeah, that's his. So now, and his two daughters, she has the acid quirk and regenerate quirk. As and then she actually has similar to her acid quirk thing, but she also could control them, like basically control acid around, like making them turn into weapons or basically like a shield, anything. So that's why. But then one day, she wanted another child from Zuko. So Zuko became, or actually, she gave birth to the son that is, you could see him, was Yep, him. But not brain dead one. This is the high intelligence one. Like, hi, how are you doing? All that stuff. Basically, he. So they're like. Yep. So he. Doomsday. Or, no. Or. Deku Day. That's what I'll say. He has. Basically. A evolution quirk. Like, basically, like what the Doomsday has, but he can use his brain. He has a brain in there. So he basically they treat him with kindness, not like, oh, go to your room or do that. So, but he Zuko always treated him with kindness, like, did he, son? To train your quirk? Yes, father. I'm glad. Or, yeah. So basically, so they had that. So, as his father tells, or actually, he tells him that every dude, son, don't get mad at the others to try to insult your appearance. Okay? Just if they are, just let me know, okay? I'll deal with them. As okay, other as and they all became pro heroes. Like everybody that knows Zuko and her are pretty famous for their their hero actions. Plus, the entire world knows Zuko because he actually, occasionally, he actually saves everybody from that. So, and he, or actually one day, Bakugo, who, or actually Nezu, asks Zuko if he wants to drink. Okay. You know, I'm busy, but I'll take a soda one. As he says, yeah, I know you are really well. Alright. So, so he ends up, like, what do you want to talk about? As Nezu says, can I ask you about that, what happened at that USJ one? Sure. Well, the sharks, did you, like, summon the sharks? No, I don't remember, but next time I'll ask. Or you better ask someone else with that. Okay? As the creature or the kind of destruction thing technically would, or he would be Zuko's brother, actually. says okay, as he or it something came out of his ear, and it was Zuku's brother. He says, "Hello, Nezu. I believe we never met before." Her. As he says, "I am the out of destruction. I'm." So he basically tells them, and Nezu asked him, "Did you summon sharks? Those sharks?" "Oh, yes, I did. To keep those villains away from us, or away from those students. Because I know Mr. Aizawa will be blinded by overusing his quirk. And 13 will get her quirk turned on her by the warp guy, Kirigiri. That's why and plus I also healed Zuku's neck up. As so he goes back into Zuku's his body. Basically, Nezu says, "Okay, good." The policeman, like, just joking. It's not really. He just wanted to talk, not be like super helpful about that. So, okay. So his or actually Zuku's phone was ringing. Guess who was calling? Doomsday. Or Deku Day. Deku Day called. As he like answers and what's up? Well, the those bullies bullied me around and called me a freak. Calm down. I'll be right there. Just okay. As he goes, be right back. As he goes, checks on or takes care of like that problem, and so they, so he like told them, or actually he told his dad, "Thank you." As he was also grabbed a napkin before, as he like wiped his tears off his. Okay, as the people or those kids couldn't believe that like they were gonna pick on and what has or their Dan's or or so they respect him now because they used to be like okay, and so Bakugo visits Deku, and surprisingly, hold on, I have to laugh really hard. So in this what if, just this one, because I usually don't ship the um the two people that has two different quirks together. But usually I ship Toga with like Zuko. But this time, and this one, what if Bakugo and Ochako got married and had a explosive kid that was picking on Doomsday for being a monster. But then that happens, and then. So basically, they were having fun. So, but Ochako, Araka, or Bakugo, or no, Bakugo could sense that she always has like a bad day because she couldn't believe that her. Of course, she sometimes punched the ground or not ground or wall because she couldn't believe. Because at first, when they were just kids, like students, Bakugo always sees her as getting more red because she wanted Zuko instead of. But sometimes, or so Bakugo, walks up to her and says, like, as students, as, don't worry, he'll probably, you might find someone that would be better. As Araka or Chaco, is always been like she always like gets surprised when or she always like cover her face is when he's around her because one since after or when so in this what if Ochako went to the same school or they went and as little kids like when at 3 years old Ochako who always was trying to wait till the right moment to have her away with him. But Ochako always got beat by that girl. I forget her name. So she basically, every time she's around, she's never able to be like, and then so Bakugo elbowed Dagu before, or from when they were in class 1A, or when it was all that stuff. So when Zuko became none of everything, he basically Ochako or actually Bakugo when they were in the changing room, they always or Bakugo tells Zuko privately that Ochako wants to date you. As Bakugo explains to Zuko what Ochako is feeling for you. She's fallen in love with you. As. Because she kept that when they were all third grade. Or no, third year. Or no. They were like kids. Basically like young. So, as Zuko says, as he takes a deep breath, like, well, then. As so they, so she and always like tells no Chaco, or actually when every time she sees her boyfriend talking to Ochako, she always feels like he's cheating on her. But they were just talking about how things are basically important stuff. Of course, that was only when he was in the class 1A. As she walks up to Ochako and tells her that better stay away from my boyfriend. And as Ochako and her doesn't see eye to eye. So basically, Ochako always had of these dreams of her and of herself and Deku kissing and basically sitting in or like sitting right across from each other's. Basically like that stuff. But they then so Bakugo could tell that every time she gets angry at something, there's something wrong. As she tells him what's wrong. As Bakugo, it was always like, okay. Yeah. How about date me? And as Ochako is not mad at him, she says, I'm not mad at anyone. It's just that girl is always in my way between me and Zuko. Basically, as Baku is now understanding why Ochako avoids her with Zuko, because so they usually go around them, avoiding them. So that's why okay. So, but Bakugo has always been like, hi Zuko, and how's the kids doing? Kind. But Momo and him, both of them shared, or they still visit with him. Heck, even the entire class had to, or not had to, they wanted to help Zuko with, like, because his wife had those kids, and they all, like, he all cared about those kids, as they all, like, had their ways. And so then Dragon Lady, so they were, like, all of them, like, his internship was actually with his dad, and or all of his kids went for his dad, because his dad, or actually they went for him, actually. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. So because they, like, look out, and they like, so they did a lot of things, spent time together and with their family, friends, and the but one day someone actually was like, oh, I'm gonna blow up the UA. As I said, UA, and it's just in this to be political. It's not like actual ones. So just to clarify, so Zuko became, so he used his powers. He always trains to not get so rusty. So basically, they were like, yep. As he created a variety of these machines that bring him back every single time. One time thing. So basically, they, so he sometimes or most of the time he overdoes his Speed Force one. He always goes to, like, some weird dimension, but he comes back with, like, some souvenirs. Like, he actually went to Ben 10 universe and visit with Ben 10 and all that stupid cred. So, and one time he actually did go to a universe called One Piece, and he met this guy, as he was chasing her down. And but she saw Zuko and ends up wanting to date him, but he got teleported back before her whip even could reach him. As so that's why it's so random. Like, he could be in the same universe twice. So he says that was weird. As they were like, okay, what's weird about it? As well, I think I was in One Piece, or no, One Punch Man. That's what Zuko says. I think I was in One Punch Man universe. And in that universe, there was this weird girl with a mask on, and she looked like Midnight, but and as he says that, as he also says, she almost tried to make me go on a date with her in that world. As she gets mad, like, okay, who's this turd and that's trying as as he says, well, it's don't worry about it. It's the so I even as I came right back. So then, so she says, "Yep, I'm glad." As she kisses him, and then so they're like, "Yep, that's good," and they were like pretty glad that he's back into their arms. So so this is the end of the video. So or before we end it, I am gonna do a giveaway on this channel. I know that some of you might say, well, hold on, the so let's do you know, that. It's supposed to be Jiro, the one that you saw before. Here, let me pull up her picture. Her, basically like her, but as a sorry, monkey, basically. So then, if you leave a like, you get her. If you comment, you get him. If you subscribe, you get him, Todoroki. And if you do all three or all four, you get Zuko, Midoriya, as a monkey. So usually some people ask for like money stuff, like sponsorship things. But this one is gonna be for like comment, like, share, and subscribe. And that's so hun, if you really want to, just copy a picture and use like whatever you want on it. So have fun with that. So and catch you guys and girls later.